John Smoltz, known for playing the accordion when I was 4, but mainly for baseball. I am so thankful I grew up in Michigan, where I rarely saw the sun. It seems like. I'd watch Jack Morris or Petrie or Frank Tanana or anybody that pitched for the Tigers, and as soon as they were done, I would go outside and I would create this strike zone, and it was a small, I mean, the brick wall was no wider than what I'm sitting right now, and the front door of my house was there, so I had to understand that if I missed left, I was going to hit that screen door, and I did too many times. I was at Tiger Stadium. I was in the biggest game. I was the announcer. I was, I was everything, and it was just me, and a brick wall and a strike zone.
Left-hander delivers. Pocket swings and hits a blast. Deep left center, way back. It's gone. The Twins go to the 7th game. Touch 'em all, Kirby Puckett.
When Kirby hit the home run to end Game 6, I knew my destiny. I was at the pinnacle of my career. And, I got a good night's sleep. I woke up, had breakfast with my family. They were all in town hanging out with me, and sleeping bags all over the floors. We just had a full house.
Perfect pitching matchup. Can you believe this? Jack Morris and John Smoltz. Jack Morris with John Smoltz, boyhood idol. Minnesota signed him to pitch big games like this. Atlanta traded for Smoltz to do the same.
But the hardest thing about Game 7 was the waiting around for it to start.
When I walked out to the mound, then that's when I started all my preparation. I didn't think about pitching the night before. I didn't wrestle in the night. I would take a nap at the stadium before a big game. And so I'd get to the park, I'd play cards or do whatever. And there's not a lot of places in a visiting locker room to take a nap. So I just got up on the training room table, there weren't many of them, curled up and, just kind of drifted away into my own little world. And I guess, come to find out, Ted came in to talk to the team. Fired up as imaginable.
I am going to see him tonight right before the game, and I'm going to tell him that I'm real proud of him no matter how the game comes out, and that
I was in the training room taking a nap. So I don't know what he said, and I just know that I was preparing myself by being as relaxed as possible.
You're so amped up, you're so mentally, physically ready to go, and the time just tick, tick, tick away, and you just have to wait because there's nothing you can do. But when I went out to the bullpen, it was the only time in my career I got a standing ovation just walking out to the bullpen. It sent goosebumps up my back, and I just was so inspired.
Well, they're getting ready in the Metrodome, and get used to this scene because you'll no doubt, depending on the Twins do, see it all night long. There is no game in baseball more important than Game 7 of the World Series.
I wanted to set the tone right away.
And we're ready for this one to start unwinding.
The first inning I knew was going to be challenging with that emotion.
Lonnie Smith with a handshake to the catcher, Brian Harper, a former teammate of his.
Yeah, I was about ready to go punch my catcher. It's like, that's the enemy. We're not buddies.
And here he is from Highland Park. Jack Morris, hometown boy, makes good first pitch.
I knew Jack was going to be as gristled and as mean, and in a Game 7.
Well, I didn't want to throw 5 pitches if I could get away with 3. So here it is, hit it. If you are not confident, you're not going to win. If you have a negative thought, it's over. You've already lost. So you've got to believe in yourself. And there's nothing more egotistical than saying to yourself, everybody else is home watching me. But that's the way you got to feel.
Down in order go the Braves.
The crowd in the dome was as loud as you can imagine. Most people say that had to be the most nerve-wracking game you've ever pitched, and it really wasn't. It was the opposite.
We'll see how John Smoltz gets along.
I was on a mission because I was 2-11 in the first half. I was terrible. So in the second half, I was on this playoff game every game. It played out like I had always wanted.
Back to John. No runners in the first.
You're King Kong today, you know, you're Superman. Get out there and show the world what you are.
You know, find a way to not give up a run. Don't give up the lead.
Runner going. Strike. Jack Morris has blanked Atlanta for 5 innings. But John Smoltz, as young as he is not letting this situation bother him.
No score through 6 innings.
Tension fills the park. Seventh inning, 7th game, no score. Jack Morris takes it into the 8th, faces the top of the order.
I was kind of the old guy. In fact, they called me Fossil.
That's going to drop, I think.
Going into that year, it was a very emotional year for me personally. I was going through a divorce. I had a tremendous amount of support from my teammates.
Kelly keeping a close eye on his pitcher here in the 8th inning.
I knew where I was at. I knew I had a lot left. You know, there's no tomorrow. We're all going home. But as a veteran player coming to a new team, if you're going to lead, you got to lead by example. So I didn't try to overthrow. I just tried to throw strikes.
Handled it into left center field. Lonnie Smith is held up at third, and he didn't do very good base running. That was terrible by Lonnie.
He may have gone for the decoy around second.
The ball went in the air. He doesn't see it, so Lonnie puts on the brakes, and he goes back. A step back towards second base, and that's all it took.
Great opportunity for Atlanta. Nasty spot for the Twins.
I love TK because he had the same mindset I did. He wanted to win. I wanted to win.
Smith at third instead of on the bench. Pendleton had doubled as at second. They walk Justice. And the play is to home. Out there. Out there.
If you're a baseball player and you don't relish postseason, long for it, want it in your soul, then you're probably not going to be very good at it.
I was different when I was pitching. I was in a zone. That's where I was that day.
Smoltz had retired 5 in a row and Bush gets that base hit.
The things that I could pay attention to and the things that I wanted to hear was a dull roar. A dull roar kind of means the crowd's frustrated because they haven't scored. You know, I don't think there was a man on third many times until the 8th.
Can't say enough about this young Atlanta hurler. John Smoltz. Runner going. Base hit.
I was going 9. If I had the years that Jack had, I would have told Bobby, no sir, get off the mound, I'm finishing this. When you think about the travels and the journeys that he went on, but yet alone the one that I went on, I would have never imagined.
And a line drive and a double play sends us into the 9th inning scoreless.
When I told him I'm not leaving, it wasn't long before he turned around and said, all right, go get him, it's just another game.
Through it all, Jack Morris still on the hill for the Twins. 10th inning coming up. How much better can it get?
Just watch Jack Morris work. He is a war horse, that guy right there.
He gets his 8th strikeout. Atlanta hasn't scored in 10 innings against Jack Morris. Scoreless game going into the bottom of the 10th inning. Broken bat fly ball's going to drop. Save! Now block punch. Pendleton goes to first. There's the winner at third base, 1 out. Minnesota bench hoping to get this winning run across here in the 10th. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0.
You know, that was just a snapshot of time that seemed like it lasted forever. And it was about me getting to a point of living a dream as a kid that I had always wanted to do, and that was pitching in the World Series. And getting an opportunity against Jack Morris was kind of like a bonus. It was what I had watched my whole life and what I had thought my whole life, what I had put myself in a situation as a kid, pitching every one of these games on the sidewalk right outside my brick wall of the house, and I just emulated every scenario that you could imagine. And so when I walked out there, it was like living a dream.
Just pure joy. You know, one of the greatest moments of my life happened shortly after the end of the game. We went up to the clubhouse, you know, I got the MVP award, and then they, you know, the whole team was waiting for me to come back on the field. We were going to take a victory lap. Started out around left field, center field, came back towards right field, and coming back towards home plate. And I noticed up in the stands, I saw my dad with my 2 kids. So I had a guard open the gate, and I got him down in the field. I just stopped there, and my middle son came up to me, and he was crying his eyes out. And I thought he got hurt with all the crowd, you know, and all the craziness that was happening. And I go, "Eric, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And he says, "Dad, I'm so happy." And I get so emotional when I think about that, because it's one of the best things I could ever show a kid is, you know, my determination, my drive, but his response to me is what set the day apart. It wasn't even about the game anymore. It was about that special relationship you have with your kids.